industry expert, research scholar, and dear students. It is with immense pride and great enthusiasm that I, Amita Chaudhary, and I, Dr. Aarti Vyas Bhatt, on behalf of School of Law, Center of Excellence, Gujarat University, welcome you to the National Conference on Ideas to Innovation, IP Ecosystem in Empowering Startups to Strive Atmanirbhar Bharat, organized by School of Law, Center of Excellence, Gujarat University, in collaboration with the Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark. This conference reflects a shared commitment to fostering innovation, strengthening intellectual property framework, and advancing the India's vision of self-reliance. जैसा कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा है, innovation is the key driver of growth and self-reliance. भारत आज एक परिवर्तनकारी दौर से गुजर रहा है, जहां विचार केवल कल्पनाओं तक सीमित नहीं रहते, बल्कि नवाचार के माध्यम से राष्ट्र निर्माण का आधार बनते हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत का संकल्प केवल आर्थिक स्वावलंबन का लक्ष्य नहीं है, बल्कि यह ज्ञान, तकनीक, उद्यमिता और बौद्धिक संपदा से सशक्त भारत के निर्माण की दिशा में एक राष्ट्रीय आंदोलन है। विचार से नवचार और नवचार से आत्मनिर्भरता की ये यात्रा, an idea that transforms into innovation and innovation that transforms into the national strength. इसी सोच को आगे बढ़ाते हुए, this conference is not merely an academic gathering. It is a platform for dialogue and visionary thinking that aligns with India's aspiration to emerge as a global innovation leader. To begin with, Gujarat University carries the proud and auspicious legacy of starting its formal ceremonies with the Gujarat University song. I would like to request all the respected dignitaries and delegates of the conference to please rise up at your places to mark a tribute to the Gujarat University song. We now invite the esteemed dignitaries to kindly proceed for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, followed by the prayer of Ma Saraswati, symbolizing wisdom, learning, and enlightenment. I request our team volunteers to bring the lamp in the center to proceed further.
National Conference is all about the intellectual gathering and the most intense deliberation on the IP knowledge. To orient our distinguished dignitaries and delegates to the vision, objective, and the spirit of the conference, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Pratik Kanchan, Director in Charge, School of Law, to please come over the lectern and guide us for the same.
Dr. Justice Kaushal, Professor Dr. G.D. Yadav, Dr. Unnat Pandit, Dr. Dinesh Patil, my faculty colleagues, Dr. Bhavesh Barat, Dr. Chetna Bujat, Dr. Kiran Singh Rajput, Dr. Soda, and other invited guests, members of the audience, media, special guests, researchers, PhD scholars, as well as my students. The whole purpose of intellectual property, right from the word of idea to innovation, and it will be there in the future. What matters is the impetus. The whole conference of these 2 days, titled as Ideas to Innovation IP Ecosystem in Empowering Startups to Strive. Each and every word in the title of the conference has got a meaning. Meaning was there earlier also, but now the meaning has got enlarged, magnified, and amplified. This 2-day deliberation will not just only talk about patents, designs, and trademarks, where CGPDTM is a main stakeholder in this conference, but through these aspects, we'll try to go further into how to make sure that every ideas lead to innovation. Ideas are there in all of us and will remain there in all of us. Only thing is that how much we get a support so that the idea eventually becomes an innovation, and what started as an idea can become a startup. The whole thing boils down to ecosystem. Ecosystems were there, ecosystems are there, and ecosystems are going to remain there. But how do we take advantage of the ecosystem? Keeping in mind the aspects of law in various disciplines. Sometimes we come up with a brilliant idea, but because of some folly or some fault in the system or something lacking in the ecosystem, we cannot take it further. So we all have come together to make sure that such motivations and such ideas do not get lost. And these 2-day deliberations, with the inaugural session, with the panel discussion, with the plenary sessions, with the technical sessions, where young and dynamic researchers will come forward with their ideas. Now it is our responsibility that the takeaway from this conference just does not remain for these 2 days only. It goes much beyond and further than this, and we all, important stakeholders in this conference, make sure that the takeaways make lots and lots of startups to come up, and the proceedings and the books and the publications which we generate through this particular conference actually help budding entrepreneurs, budding idea generators into real-time innovators. I welcome one and all for a very, very interactive and invigorative sessions for these 2 days, and hope that it will be a long takeaway for all times to come. Thank you once again. Welcome one and all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening and igniting words. I am sure it has boosted up the spirit of participation. Taking further. Now, with the feelings of profound honor and privilege, we would like to introduce our esteemed dignitaries to this august assembly of scholars and thought leaders. We are deeply honored to commence the introduction of our dignitaries with our guest of honor, Honorable Justice Dr. Kaushal Thaker. Whose remarkable contribution and esteemed presence add immense prestige to this gathering. Sir completed schooling at St. Xavier School and Gujarat Law Society, Ahmedabad. Graduated with BSc in Chemistry from MG Science College, Ahmedabad. Obtained LLB from LA Shah Law College, Gujarat University, where Sir secured first rank. Earned LLM Commercial Law from LA Shah Law College with the support of a UGC scholarship. Sir awarded a PhD in Environmental Law by Gujarat University. Conferred with a postdoctoral degree by the National Forensic Science University under Padmashri Dr. J.M. Vyas. Sir joined the bar in 1987, initially practicing with the late Shri N.J. Mehta and later in the office of Shri K.S. Nanavati. Practiced before Gujarat High Court in labor, service, constitutional, civil and criminal matters. Served as a part-time lecturer at L.A. Shah Law College and MN Law College and taught LLM students. Associated as a resource fellow with the Gujarat State Judicial Academy and the National Judicial Academy, Bhopal. Sir directly appointed as a district judge in February 1997, serving at various locations as district and session judge and presiding over the Motor Accident Claim Tribunal. Sir decided several significant cases, including matters related to Shankaracharya, arbitration, writ jurisdiction, and accident claims. A trained mediator, Sir has mediated major disputes, trained judicial officers in mediation, and successfully conducted numerous Lok Adalat as chairman of District Legal Service Authority. Sir has participated in prestigious forums such as SAAC Conference on Environmental Sustainability and the International Conference on Judicial Reform, and other national conferences at National Judicial Academy Bhopal and National Police Academy Hyderabad. Sir later was appointed as an additional judge of the Gujarat High Court and took oath on 4th May 2013, later transferred to the Allahabad High Court. Sir authored several articles published in reputed journals and attended international conference on environmental law. Sir served as a chairman of Motor Accident Claim Committee in Uttar Pradesh, contributing significantly to the effective adjudication of accident compensation matter. Sir also chaired the Juvenile Justice Committee in Uttar Pradesh, where Sir introduced notable reforms in the functioning and the standards of shelter homes. Sir held responsibility as an administrative judge in both Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat, contributing to judicial governance and institutional development. Decided several appeals arising from the case related to the post-Godra rights. Sir appointed as the first district judge of the prestigious Gandhinagar court at a notably young age. Became the first judge from the Narmada district to be elevated to the High Court, marking a significant professional milestone. Sir proactively urged the government to develop road infrastructure for the marginalized communities, highlighting his commitment to social justice and inclusive development. And now, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Pratik Kanchan Sir, Director in Charge, School of Law, Gujarat University, to felicitate our esteemed guest of honor with a token of love and gratitude.
Thank you, sir. Now we are profoundly honored to welcome Padmashri awardee Professor Dr. Ganpati D. Yadav, sir, as the chief guest for this occasion. His exemplary contributions to the academia and research, along with his esteemed presence, greatly elevate the significance of this conference. Sir presently serves as chairman of Scientific Advisory Committee on Hydrocarbons under the aegis of Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India. Sir is also president of the Indian Chemical Society and was the president of Maharashtra Academy of Science for past 12 years. Sir currently holds the prestigious Bhatnagar Fellowship, that is the highest honor of CSIR, and has been served as the former Vice Chancellor of Institute of Chemical Technology, ICT, Mumbai. We would like to invite Dr. Bhavesh Barat, Head School of Law, Coordinator, Center of Excellence, to kindly felicitate Sir with the token of love and gratitude.
educational institution adds immense value and significance to our event. It is indeed a moment of pride for all of us. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sir for taking the time to join us, being his busy schedule. Once again, a warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for joining us.
We are deeply privileged to welcome Dr. Dinesh Patil, sir, as the chief guest for this august occasion. His distinguished leadership in the field of intellectual property and his unwavering commitment to the innovation and research significantly elevate or enrich the academic spirit of this conference. Sir is currently serving as the Joint Controller of Patent and Designs and Technical Head at the Office of Controller General of Patent Design and Trademark, Mumbai. Sir holds a PhD in biochemistry reflecting his strong academic expertise in the scientific and technological domains. Sir has bring over the 22 years of distinguished experience in the Indian Patent Office across multiple leadership roles. Sir has received the specialized training at the Japan Patent Office, Tokyo, on patenting pharmaceutical innovations and at the European Patent Office on the biotechnological innovations. Sir has represented the 21st, 22nd and 24th session of the Standing Committee on the Law of Patents at WIPO, Geneva. Sir has also delivered the expert lectures at Indian IPR seminars in Japan organized by the JETRO, that is Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Government of Japan. Sir has invited as a speaker at the 2024 to the New Southbound IP conference organized by the Taiwan Intellectual Property Office. Sir has significantly contributed to the preparation of traditional knowledge, pharmaceutical and biotechnology patent guidelines and examination. Sir has been appointed as the member of Board of Research at the KBC NMA Jalgaon by the Honorable Governor of Maharashtra, recognizing his expertise in the field of intellectual property rights. Now we would like to invite Dr. Chetna Bujat, Head of Environment and Legal Order, Gujarat University, to kindly felicitate Sir with the token of love and gratitude.
It is our immense privilege and honor to invite our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Dinesh Patil, sir, to kindly take the lectern and address this august gathering. We eagerly look forward to his invaluable words of wisdom and his insightful interpretation of the conference theme, which will undoubtedly enrich our understanding and inspire the meaningful deliberations. Sir.
Good morning. Distinguished Honorable Justice Thaker sir, Dr. Professor Yadav sir, and my colleagues from Gujarat University, and ladies and gentlemen, very good morning once again to you. Now if you see idea to innovation, and ultimately that innovation maybe in all fields of technology or arts ultimately goes for protection in the form of intellectual property rights. So therefore I am here representing the Intellectual Property Office. So therefore it is my indeed privilege to be here or represent my Intellectual Property Office in this national conference. I sincerely commend the organizers, including us, because my office is also one of the organizers, but organizing team, for their bringing together this august gathering with a diverse group of stakeholders from research, policymakers, innovators on the issue of this idea to innovation and intellectual property rights so as to reach to our goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that is our collective future. When we talk about the innovation, because theme is idea to innovation, so innovation is powerful catalyst for the growth and development. both economy as well as our society. So it is not new to the India when we talk about the innovation, because innovation is very intrinsic to our civilization. For centuries, India nurtured the scientific thoughts across Vedas, mathematics, astronomy, then traditional medicines, engineering and metallurgy as well. Giving the world, when we talk about the tradition and the Vedas and mathematics, we have given the world a decimal system of zero, then advanced surgical system in Ayurveda and metallurgical feats. You may imagine or you may consider the corrosion-free iron pillar of Delhi. It's the best example of metallurgy in the ancient time, standing for all millenniums, and that still continues to bear a witness of your enduring innovations in the field of metallurgy. When we talk about the economy, nowadays economy is a knowledge-based economy, and this knowledge economy is ultimately shaping the global landscape with economies increasingly fueled by knowledge-intensive activity. When we talk about the ideas to innovation, it is nothing but a knowledge-intensive activity, and these knowledge-intensive activities are ultimately coming towards the protection by way of intellectual property rights, that is IPR. I believe you may be knowing different kinds of IPR like patent, design, trademark, GI and copyright. So these IPRs have emerged as a valuable commodities now, because when we talk about a trade, so these IPRs become now commodities. They can be licensed, they can be traded like the other commodity items, goods and services. So these IPRs which are emerging as a commodities, tradable communities or valuable communities, ultimately reflecting the growth, dominance of innovation and creativity, shaping the economic progress of the country. From this IPR protection, you may be aware that we have a very robust system of IPR protection since long, and this spans very vast period of time, thereby safeguarding the cutting-edge innovations, not only the traditional but cutting-edge innovations, while also preserving our age-old traditions such as 5,000-year-old Dokra art, you may be knowing as a GI. So we are not only doing the cutting-edge research, we are also good in our traditional heritage, which are getting protected under the geographical indications. So when we talk about a cutting-edge technologies, at one hand, these cutting-edge technologies can be safeguarded, can be protected by way of a patents, designs, copyright, and trademarks. Since 2014, India has granted around 35 lakhs of patents, designs, trademarks, and copyright. So there is a tremendous growth in the last 10 to 12 years when we talk about the cutting-edge technologies and protection by way of patent, design, and trademarks. On the other hand, we are also preserving our traditional heritage that is rooted in our geographical heritage, and therefore we have, as on date, registered 696 GI, including this so many traditional products like Darjeeling tea, saffron, the Kashmir saffron, Nagpur orange, Kolhapuri chappal, Kanjivaram silk, so many things. So we are doing this balancing act very good, nicely, in order to have economic advantage on cutting edge as well as our traditional technologies. So this approach of cutting edge technologies as well as our traditional heritage, we are balancing in protecting the modern creations as well as ancestral legacy, and ultimately this protection is ultimately leading to a knowledge-based economy. If you see the current budget, maybe last 3-4 year budget, our finance minister is always talking now knowledge-based economy. The best example could be, because when we were talking about the old time, the economy was a agriculture base. Before this, European people did the industrial revolution. India, China, or so-called Hindustan or Bharat, we were having a good land holding agriculture lands, and every economic activity was a agricultural economy base. जैसे बात होती थी कि जिस देश में सोने की चिड़िया करती है बसेरा. तो मतलब that time that all agriculture, all currency are based on agricultural products and agricultural activities. So that economy was agricultural based. Thereafter, when we span progress, European and Americans developed the industry, and there was an industrial economy. Industrial revolution was there. Manufacturing units were set up into the across the Europe, and that time economy was industry based. But if you see now the current time, it is a knowledge based economy. You have a lot of industrial infrastructure, industry, plant, but if you don't have any technology to run or go through that products and process which gets manufactured through that industrial empire, that industrial empire is zero unless you have a intellectual property right. That is a knowledge. Best example is now see the e-commerce website like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. They don't have an industrial plant, manufacturing unit, big empire in terms of the manpower, industrial employees, but still they are dominating the economy. That is why current era, agriculture, industrial, and this current era is now knowledge-based economy. And that is why every world leader is now talking about the knowledge-based economy. And that economy is now on trade-based economy, and always trades are amalgamated with the protected intellectual property rights. Without proper protection of intellectual property right, even you cannot do the trade. And now, if you see the conventionally, our diplomacy, our relationship with the foreign countries was diplomatic relations earlier. Now it is trade-based diplomacy. Everything is on trade. कितना व्यापार करेंगे, उतने हमारे relation उस देश के साथ ठीक होंगे. So, in this particular concept, idea to innovation, and those innovations are getting protected by intellectual property right, is ultimately contributing immensely to the thought of this knowledge-based economy. And in this regard, since I am representing my intellectual property office here, and also the government of India, particularly Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and DPIIT particularly, so in this past 10 years, of 10 to 12 years, my office and the government of India has taken various initiatives in order to bring this intellectual property protection onto the main platform, because that is the now current trend when we talk about the economy. So my office and government of India has taken so many initiatives in order to boost the protection of intellectual property, like you may be aware about National Intellectual Property, National IPR policy. Now, very recently, there has been amendments into various laws, intellectual property laws, by way of Jan Vishwas amendments to decriminalize certain offences which were having a criminal consequence when somebody was violating those provisions of the intellectual property law. But in order to do the ease of doing business, government has amended those penal provisions in order to create a confidence among the stakeholders to do the business, and government is now very positive on that aspect to decriminalize all those such offences which can be converted into a normal penalties or something like that. India has been an active member of WIPO. You might have heard about the word WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, and you might have seen our Controller General, Professor Dr. Unnat Pandit, is right now in Geneva. He is there to attend and he's chairing, in fact, India this year is chairing the session. Professor Unnat Pandit is chair, IPR chair there, and he's chairing that PCT Technical Coordination Committee meetings in Geneva. So, in that WIPO, we have been a member of 16 international treaties in order to facilitate a proper protection of the Indian applicants abroad as well as the applicant from foreign countries to the India. We have been member of those 16 very important international treaties, and that too they are very significant, strategically significant for us. We are also engaging with so many foreign governments for free trade agreements. You may be now just listening about the US free trade agreement. We have a free trade agreement with UAE, UK, EFTA. I am personally a track lead for the two Latin American countries. I am negotiating on IPR chapter with Chile and Peru. So now this intellectual property and trade are very much connected in every trade package. When we talk about a free trade agreement with any foreign government, there is one important chapter, that is intellectual property protection. So this IP and trade is now amalgamated, though trade is generally looked after by WTO, not by WIPO. Domestically, when we talk about the facilitation of filing and processing of patent application, you might have heard about various simplifications we have done into the filing and prosecution of all kinds of intellectual property right applications. By way of this online measures, now almost every application in patent office or trademark registry are getting processed electronically, and almost more than 98% of the IP applications are getting filed online. Some of the patent attorneys I can see here, Mr. Jatin Trivedi and all, they knows that Government of India has mandated all the attorneys, maybe a patent attorneys, trademark attorneys, to file all their intellectual property right applications online in order to facilitate the processing of those online filed applications very rapidly in IP offices. And all these operations, right from filing, disposal, hearings, everything is happening online. Even all the certificates are being issued online, registration certificates. In terms of the pendency, in order to curb the pendency, in order to expedite the processing of those IP applications, Government of India has sanctioned around 1025 posts in patent office, out of which 500 posts are already filled up. Similarly, we have a little bit more pendency in trademark registry. So 620 posts are in principally approved by the government, and the first installment out of that additional 200 posts have been sanctioned. So when we are doing all these reforms, because manpower is also equally important to process your applications very rapidly, therefore there is 50% increase in manpower in this last 3-4 years, 50% increase in manpower in patent office, and more than 70% increase in manpower of the trademark registry. So if you look at all these initiatives, India has been progressing and witnessing some landmarks, progress in the field of Global Innovation Index. You might have heard about the Global Innovation Index, in short we called it as a GII. So if we see our ranking in 2015, it was 81. But in 2025, we came to the position of 38. So there is 43 place jump in this 10 years. So as a result of these government initiatives, we have been doing a great progress on those fronts. I'm not taking much time, but if you see the growth in terms of filing of patent application, 215% increase in this last twin, 215% patent application, जो कि एक जमाने में 42,000 थी, आज हमारे पास 1.34 लाख, 1,34,000 patent applications हमने last year receive की. When we talk about the Indian patent filing, पहले हम जब मैं patent office join किया 2001-2 में, तब 15 to 20% applications we were receiving from the Indian applicants and 80% almost from the foreign. But आज हमारी जो filing है Indian लोगों की, वो 60% above हो चुकी है. So innovation activity in India has increased. और उस फाइलिंग में जो एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन का खास करके आउट ऑफ दैट 60%, इफ यू कैन से दैट टोटल इंडियन 100% फाइलिंग, 60% फाइलिंग इज बाय एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस. सो दैट इज ए वंडरफुल कंट्रीब्यूशन फ्रॉम द एकेडेमिया. In terms of trademark filing also, we were having good filing in case of trademark, but there is also 215% growth in trademark applications filing, and almost we are receiving 6 lakh trademark applications in a year, so which reflect the trade activities, increased trade activities. आपने एक स्कीम सुना होगा नीपाम, नेशनल इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी अवेयरनेस मिशन. काफी लोगों को कंफ्यूजन था कि व्हाट इज पेटेंट एंड व्हाट इज डिजाइन. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस नीपाम अवेयरनेस वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट रीच आउट टू द 28 स्टेट इन a country, and that too we are targeting the school, colleges and the research institutions, and as a result almost 26 lakh students we have trained in intellectual property right, and that too by giving them a proper certification. So as a result of that, what happened to academia, there is a clarity now what is a subject matter for which you have to get a patent and what is the subject matter for which you have to apply for a design. Because जब लोग पहले फाइल करते थे ना मेरा डिजाइन पेटेंट हो चुका है, तो वो क्लैरिटी नहीं थी. But because of this intellectual property awareness mission, there is now clarity, and if you see the design filing from that last 3 years, there is nearly 5-fold increase in design, because people were confused what is patent and what is design. So that clarity of thought was given by our that NIPAM, and now considerable from UPC 9,000 applications we were receiving in 2014, and now almost 45,000 applications, design applications currently we are receiving. So not only patent, but we are also doing good progress in design filing. So copyright, as you know, there is a very 7-time filing has increased from 18,000 to 54,000 copyright applications. Copyright is not a kind of industrial property right. It is a intellectual property right, but not industrial property right. And when we talk about, I will just take 2 minutes only when we talk about a startup, because our concept is startup here in this particular conference. So in order to facilitate the startup, because startups are newly incorporated entities and they may not be having a good venture capital to invest on protection of intellectual property rights. So in order to facilitate the filing of the IP applications by the startup, Government of India started a SIPP scheme. Under that SIPP scheme, you can approach to IP Mitra or patent facilitator or trademark facilitators or design facilitators. And those facilitators are nothing but the registered patent trademark attorneys. They will help you to file your patent, design and trademark applications. They will not charge you anything, and they will be paid by my office. So they will facilitate the filing and prosecution of your application up to the grant and registration. So that SIPP scheme was originally meant for startup, but when we found that academia is doing good progress in terms of filing, now that SIPP scheme has further been extended to by way of that TIS centers are there, TISA center of WIPO. So any individual, although he is not a startup, but he is an individual innovator, he can approach those TIS centers, and those TIS centers will verify their inventions, their design application, their trademark applications, and they will issue a certificate. Yes, prima facie there is merit for protection by way of patents or design or trademark. And after that TIS certification, those individual applicants, entrepreneurs can also approach to those patent facilitators or IP Mitra, and again they will facilitate the filing of their IP applications, and their fees will be again paid by my office. So as a result, this to boost this idea to innovation ecosystem, IP ecosystem, government is doing this pro bono support for facilitating the filing. You are not required to pay any fees of those facilitators. So as a result of all these activities, these IP activities have increased, and ultimately the thought of that Atmanirbhar Bharat, or we can call it as a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. So IPR will be a very important component, and therefore all people need to translate this idea to the innovation and protect those ideas by way of intellectual property right. So finally, I wish a great success to this conference, so that I can see a large number of IP applications from the Gujarat University. Thank you once again.
As Sir has mentioned, India protects both modern creation and ancestral legacy. India now becoming the knowledge-intensive economy, aiming for Atmanirbhar Bharat, aiming for Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words.
Taking the legacy of most inspiring and thought-provoking deliberation to this August gathering, with the immense honor, we would like to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. G.D. Yadav, sir, to come over the lectern and inspire us with his most valuable words.
Namaskar. Justice Thaker, Dr. Patil, Dr. Kanchan, and Dr. Bharat, and distinguished members of the audience. Thank you very much for inviting me here. But since I'm going to give a proper talk, I would not like to take much of the time, but I will tell you one interesting anecdote the USPTO, US Patent and Trademark Office in Washington, I had the honor of going there because I was elected as a fellow of the US National Academy of Inventors 2023, and my name was printed in the wall. So I was the second Indian to be elected. And what I found there was very interesting, that how many patents they received, the applications, and how they use, AI and ML and how they process it. It was very interesting. But the same USPTO had a patent general in 1895 who said, he advised the government that we should close the patent office. And what was his contention? His contention was, whatever has to be invented is already invented. Why pay so much money to this staff? That was in 1895. Now he must be turning in his grave, the number of things which are happening in US and worldwide. Another person, the great Bill Gates, in 1984 said that he was asked, this PC became the buzzword that time, and Microsoft has this sort of monopoly that time. He said, what should be the memory of the RAM? And he said 64 KB is good enough. Now a kid born yesterday doesn't accept a toy which is less than 10 MB. Correct? But he said 61. These are great people. These are great people. So what it means in patents, you cannot imagine who can get patent unless the idea is new. So these are so-called jugaad. India, there is a lot of jugaad, and you sometimes see on WhatsApp messages coming that this village lady is doing something. And so one gentleman, Professor Anil Gupta from IIM Ahmedabad, he's running this honey network. And every year he calls me to be a judge. It's a very interesting concept. So I think we have not realized the value of patents, trademarks, and copyrights and whatnot in India. So you can copyright anything, any crazy idea. Earlier the movies had single word title, like Sangam or Dosti. Now you have multiple titles, English words are mixed in that, sometimes Marathi word, sometimes some other word, and they just take a copyright. So if somebody wants to use that, he will go and pay you a lot of money to use that title. So India is awakening. So in my talk, I'm going to talk some of these interesting aspects. So ladies and gentlemen, I will stop here because otherwise I will not be able to give my talk. Thank you.
The spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat is rightly rooted in the spirit of fostering innovation. Thank you, sir, for your enlightening and enriching words and sharing us with the most valuable words of wisdom. Now, this national conference is adorned with several significant milestones, and among its most distinguished highlight is the formal launch of the Book of Abstract and the concept node. To add more valuable insight to this event, so to illuminate this academic contribution, we have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Komal Sharma ma'am, Assistant Professor, Center of Excellence, School of Law, to shed a light on this contribution.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries on dais, respected faculty members, distinguished guests, dear students, participants, and research scholars. Books are the repositories of ideas, experiences, and reflections. In academia, the book serves as a bridge between connecting research with the practice, applications with the theory, and ideas with the impact. With this thought, we will begin launch of first book, that is conference souvenir titled Ideas to Innovation, IP Ecosystem in Empowering Startup to Strive Atmanirbhar Bharat. The souvenir is a collection of academic enthusiasm and wide participation that conference has received. Out of 182 registrations, 115 abstracts were carefully reviewed and compiled in this publication. All the abstracts received till the last deadline we had accommodate in that souvenir. Souvenir addresses the contemporary themes such as startup, growth, emerging technologies, green innovation, protection of traditional knowledge system, and with the balancing private rights and public interest. I congratulate to all the participants who had contributed in this souvenir. With this juncture, I respectfully request our honorable dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us for the formal release of conference souvenir. Moving with this begin, we launched our second book with ISBN publication entitled Idea That Empower Atmanirbhar Bharat, a reflective perspective on intellectual property, startups and innovation in India. This book is built around the belief that ideas gain true strength when they are protected, valued and supported. Aligned with the theme of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Amrit Kal, Ideas That Empower Atmanirbhar Bharat book is a thoughtful collection of reflections how ideas, when they protected and when they nurtured, that can transform into the impactful innovations. This book explores growing importance of intellectual property, boosting startups, encourage creativity, and supporting India's journey towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. In this book, we had accommodated diverse perspectives from the academician, from the legal experts, policy makers, industry experts, incubation centers, and innovators. It highlights how intellectual property is not a legal safeguard, but how it is a powerful tool that helps ideas to grow, reach market, and create lasting impact. Once again, I humbly request our esteemed guest on the dais to kindly join us for the release of book An Idea That Empower Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful launch. Now, carrying forward the spirit of intellectual deliberation, this conference holds the distinct honor to have Professor Dr. Unnat Pandit, sir, who have joined us virtually. Now, we would like to request sir to share his most valuable thoughts to elevate the essence of the conference. Sir, over to you. Sir, we are just working
helping with some of the technical things? Yes, sir. Yes, sir has already. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. So we are sorry that we are working on this technical configuration and it will take a while. Just be with us, sir. Now, at this moment, it is my privilege and honor to invite Honorable Justice Kaushal Thaker, sir, to kindly address the gathering. May I request you, sir, to share your valuable thoughts with us.
Good morning and namaste to all of you. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. All the dignitaries on the dais. This takes me back to about 3 decades when, if you remember, as younger persons, where there would be an orchestra playing, with that gap of 2 or 3 minutes, a jovial person will come in, entertain you, then go away. लगता है मेरी हालत आज ऐसी हो गई. But I am more than happy because I am between 2 people who are stalwarts in IP, and I feel myself a pygmy before them. I am an alumni of this university and I am proud about it. The university has nurtured me, and as I yesterday told at a Bharatnatyam function, it's not only learning that makes you great, it's your insight or your foresight. And India now has various foresights. It takes me back to 2-decade-old litigation between US and India, when America thought that they can have the patent of what we call, all of you are aware with the word basmati rice. ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ તો સપને પણ વિચારી શકીએ કે બાસમતી અમેરિકામાં પેટન્ટ થઈ જાય. They tried it. That is where the fight started. And fortunately, in 2002, the American company was told that you cannot have a patent of basmati. You please change the name of your product. So that was one of the innovations. As Mr. Patil said, we are an agricultural country. we are now going on what we call at Viksit Bharat. But let us not compromise our environment. The startups are there to be, as you know, every year Gujarat, in the month of January, signs a lot of MOUs of startup industries in the state of Gujarat. Maybe we are the pioneers now. I wish a great success to this two-day conclave, as I would call it. And I would not take much time because I am told that the systems are on now so that we can hear our representative who is globally representing us in Geneva, so that we can have the pleasure of hearing him. Thank you once again for calling me, Dr. Bhavat. Thank you, Dr. Patil, for all the way coming to Gujarat. And we are honored to have you, Dr. Yadav, a distinguished guest, will be sermoning you with all his thoughts, which will pave a lot of way in your minds for your innovative thoughts to come up with some new ideas. All researchers and lawyers or the persons in the field of patent. Thank you for everybody.
Thank you, sir, for your invaluable words.
Now we are ready with this technical configuration and heading back to our virtual session.
Can you hear me now? Can someone confirm? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It is an honor to connect from Geneva. And earlier I have decided that I will remain in person, but such governmental priority sometimes differs the personal desires, but the duties to the service is always on high. So that's why we have to sometimes compromise on our personal desires. It is indeed a privilege to be virtually connected in the august presence of Honorable Dr. Justice Kaushal J. Thaker, Chairperson, Gujarat Human Rights Commission, Padmashri Professor G.D. Yadav ji. He is the scientific advisor. He is chairperson to the Scientific Advisory Committee on Hydrocarbons, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India. He is also Bhatnagar Fellow at the Indian Chemical Technology, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. And the way he has contributed to create the IP, it is indeed a privilege. And I appreciate the organizing team from the Gujarat University and the Office of CGPDTM to bring both the legal and the technical stalwarts on the same platform. This sets a tone that how we want to prioritize the IP ecosystem for empowering in the era of building a strong Atmanirbhar Bharat. Legal and technology and science need to work hand in hand. And perfectly the theme idea to innovate IT ecosystem in empowering the startups to strive for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. That gels well here. My friend Dr. Dinesh Patil, who is representing me there and also representing our office, he has well set the tone during his the inaugural address also. The conference director, Professor Pratik Kanchanji, and conference convener, Dr. Bhavesh Bharatji,
University. Their support in planning this event as the perfect success, that is also very much helpful to us. And the eminent participants, your presence is important. And I learned that there are so many IP lawyers, IP attorneys who have joined. There are so many researchers in the law, researchers in the science, technology, corporate IP professionals, startups, SMEs, MSMEs have participated in this national conference. The need for Viksit Bharat through Atmanirbharta and our dedicated efforts in the process of this Amrit Kal period is going to set the tone how we want to build the Viksit Bharat. IP is now the world's third largest startup ecosystem. IP turned this innovation energy into a long-term national asset. This is not just a one-time project. When Startup India was started in 2015-16, the overall objective was to catalyze the entire growth engine and how the youngsters can play a pivotal role in the development of our country. And this vision was set during the National IP Policy, which was released in 2016. Patent filing by startup have reportedly growing sharply, but still it need the pole vault jump. Startup India related to IPR incentive, so much has been talked and so much of benefits which is available. And of course, the startups have also seen that there are several benefits and 90% of the startups are not availing the benefits. The IPR incentives, which is there. This shows that founders really need some awareness. They are ready to create the IP. And when the system is supporting them, it is high time that they should protect the IP and they should commercialize the IP. Government has taken several such initiatives for building the Make in India. And for Make in India, I must here take a note that the defense-related startup have played a major role through the IDEX initiative, Innovation for Defense Excellence. This initiative was started in 2017 or so, but then it has taken up a shape. I could able to meet one of such startup and the things which is getting developed. It is the first time in world kind of a technology this startups are developing. During the Republic Day Parade 2026, I could able to meet the Big Bang Boom startup, which is from Chennai, and they are developing such a cutting-edge technology, and everything is indigenous. This shows that Make in India is the prime focus for technological advancement during this Amrit Kal and for achieving the Atmanirbharta. But with the Make in India, it's a time to invent in India, own in India and license to the world. जो भारत की कोर सोच है ना, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, तो वसुधैव कुटुंबकम in IP, how we can license our IP to the world. Sharing of a knowledge is the primary need. Sunrise sector like the green hydrogen, semiconductors, AI, space technology, biotechnology, also mentioned about the orange economy. This kind of advancement, even to put forward our Bharat in forefront of the world. Government has doing every such initiative to take the country in a forefront. It's a high time that we create the IP, protect it and commercialize it. Building the IP portfolio that controls the standards, that strategically utilizes the cheap algorithm designs, even in all such sunrise sector which I have mentioned. So we need a positive approach, and to bring this advancement in the next era's need, our concept paper on the design amendment, which is going to take care about the orange economy need, going to take care about green hydrogen, semiconductor, AI, space tech, biotech need also, because the design reform is going to take place, not just the physical form of a design, even the virtual form of VR realities. In the AI era, the kind of a design evolution which is going to happen. In the orange economy era, the kind of a design revolution which is going to happen. Country is prepared to offer such protection. So government is marching 2 steps ahead to the need which is required for the country. It's a high time that we catalyze this momentum. Government's RDI fund, semiconductor program, this has put several thousand crores to build the robust IP strategy, robust IP portfolio creation, its commercialization. There is no dearth of money. India will finance R&D, India will support the IP creation, India will support the IP protection. And when we have secured this, how we can commercialize it? If we are not doing it now, others will own the IP and others will own the brand, and then we will miss the bus in the developmental area. There are several initiatives which is happening in Gujarat also and in various parts of the country. Deep tech startups are there. Sunrise areas really need to survive themselves in this development and leapfrog jump through patent, through trademarks, through design, through trade secrets, through software which they are developing. How the software can be embedded with the hardware, because software alone will not work. So how this can be embedded, and to clarify that how their inventions are going to see the protection, we have offered the detailed guideline on computer-related inventions. If we are not going to secure the IP, it will put the entire commercial efforts on a low-margin services or low-margin products. If you have an IP, you can have the incentivized cost measures. And that's the beauty. In the orange economy era, where media, OTT, gaming, design, fashions, cultural services, these are purely going to thrive the creativity, knowledge, IP, new designs creations. And these are not just natural resources, these are the digital resources. India's cultural and creative industries are really going to generate a multi-billion-dollar opportunity next coming 2 decades. And it's the opportunity to generate the IP. Large-scale youth employment is going to get generated through this. The copyright protection, trademark protection, GI protection, the way technology is going to evolve, in that case, the first time in world, kind of a patent protection. avatar in the commercial sector, like industrial training also. In the films also, the novel avatar can be, that kind of a protection is going to be enabled through this. The unique music, unique designs, crafts, even the GI dress outs in the virtual world. How this is going to see the entire sector. There is a need for IP protection, and that advancement is already described in our concept paper which has been put forward for the stakeholders. It's a time that we think on creation of IP. We think protection on IP, and we think on commercializing our IP asset. And for doing it so, for creation, integrate the IP thinking in across the developmental leap. Whatever the research activities which these startups are doing, or wherever in their incubators role, accelerators role, R&D labs role is going to be important. IP creation should be their KPI, key performance indicators. And in the startup world, how they can link this KPI with the PLI, performance link incentive scheme, which is offered by the government. And to enable this, RDI, Research Development Innovation Grants. See, the KPI, PLI and RDI, entire value chain is offered to the startups. And everywhere the government is there to offer a backbone support. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का जो विजन है, ये इस पूरे KPI, PLI और RDI में दिख रहा है. And on top of it, the most advancement which is happening in the IP world. पिछले 10-11 साल में तकरीबन 13 बार पेटेंट रूल्स का अमेंडमेंट हुआ है. एंड पिछले उससे पहले 2014 से पहले के अगर 20 साल हम देखें तो मात्र 6 या 7 बार हुआ है. This shows how much government is sincere to simplify the norms, facilitate the protection. Entire IP office is now digitized. Of course, the web series is offering the era of 90s. In 2025, they project the IP office as it is living in the world of 90s. And that is shown in 2025. I am feeling very shame for such producers who have not woke up from the 90s era to the 2025 era. In one of the web series, I have seen that. And it is of just 1 week old story. But they should now show where India is, how much India is progressing. आपको बताते हुए मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि 2024 के कैलेंडर ईयर में 1,10,000 पेटेंट फाइल हुए थे. 2025 कैलेंडर ईयर में 1,34,000 पेटेंट फाइल हुए हैं. More than 19% growth. World's fastest growing IP ecosystem is India. ट्रेडमार्क रिजीम में 2024 में 5,33,000 ट्रेडमार्क फाइल हुए. 2025 में 6,33,000 ट्रेडमार्क्स फाइल हुए. किसी भी सिस्टम में कंसिस्टेंटली पिछले कई वर्षों से 5%, 4%, 6% ग्रोथ रेट से ट्रेडमार्क में आगे बढ़ रहे थे. 2025 लैंडमार्क ईयर है जहां 20% ग्रोथ हुआ है ट्रेडमार्क इकोसिस्टम. डिजाइन में फ्रॉम नोवेयर वी आर अमंग द टॉप 10 डिजाइन ऑफिस. कॉपीराइट सेक्टर में भी हाईएस्ट एवर ग्रोथ हो रहा है, तो वी आर नॉट यूटिलाइजिंग इट इफेक्टिवली. ये है नया भारत. कब तक वो 90s के era में हम रहेंगे. So I'm just, I don't want to quote any creative person's thought process, but they need to show what is reality, where the world is moving. The fast track protection which is being offered, which is equally affordable to the startups, Rule 24C, and the first schedule which has been made 80% reduction in the cost of protection. On top of it, SIPP program, which is reimbursing the official fees and also the token honorarium to the IP practitioners for their efforts in supporting the startup ecosystem. It's a perfect time to build the IP portfolio, strengthen the enforcement so that piracy, infringements, though it is visibly going to diminish the commercial value of the IP, but government is again developing the AI-driven analytics. AI ka ek glimpses of the AI intervention in trademark has already been put forward to the public. I appeal to the trademark agents, patent agents, please utilize it. Soon you are going to see the beta version also is under trial. Once this trial is done, we will come out with the full-fledged advancement on our website and the AI-related search. You will see the drastic change there. So wherever there is a need, IP office and the government support for the IP creation, commercial protection and commercialization is one step ahead. It's a high time that we value the IP, then IP will value us. आज समय है हम IP को वैल्यू दे, उसको महत्व दे, उसको क्रिएट करे, उसको प्रोटेक्ट करे. ये IP आने वाले 20 साल में हमें वैल्यू क्रिएट करके रिटर्न देगा. IP backed financing is also the dynamic world. I think each law firms also need to think on those lines. How you are going to offer the support on IP valuation, IP financing, and its licensing, the kind of a legal nitty-gritty surrounding to all the three. I think law firms also or the IP agents will require to build their services surrounding to this also. How the royalty frameworks need to be measured. This is going to be the need in next 5 years time frame. जब इंटरनेट रिवॉल्यूशन आया तो इंटरनेट भारत पहुंचने में जितना समय लगा और भारत में इंटरनेट आने के बाद आज विश्व में सबसे सस्ता इंटरनेट भारत का है. विश्व में सबसे ज्यादा लास्ट माइल कनेक्टिविटी भारत में है. सबसे ज्यादा एडवांसमेंट और मोबाइल पेनिट्रेशन भारत में है. पहले हमने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि हम कहीं से भी बात कर सकेंगे. I have seen the landline era also, जहां पड़ोसी का फोन टीटी नंबर के नाम से लिखे विजिटिंग कार्ड भी दिया जाता था. आज हर एक व्यक्ति के मोबाइल में AI है. 2024 में AI के बारे में आर्टिकल पढ़ते थे. 2026 में हर एक के हाथ में AI है मोबाइल में. एंड हर एक के मोबाइल में कम से कम 2-3 कनेक्शन है. तो कितना फास्ट रैपिड टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडॉप्शन हो रहा है. IP फर्स्ट शुड बी द मंत्र. कैसे IP के बारे में हम सबसे पहले सोचेंगे, उसकी स्ट्रेटेजी बनाएंगे, उसे फाइलिंग का रोड मैप बनाएंगे, कहां फ्रीडम टू ऑपरेट है वो एनालिसिस करेंगे और बाद में हम R&D करेंगे. And before scaling, everywhere we will have the IP checks and quality measures. जैसे क्वालिटी चेक के लिए हमने अलग-अलग मानकों को सेट किया है, वैसे IP चेक के लिए भी अलग-अलग मानकों को एस्टैब्लिश करना होगा. इसीलिए मैं पिछले 3-4 सालों से कह रहा हूं कि गुड IP प्रैक्टिसेस इनकलकेट और ये दोनों का एमालगमेशन स्टार्टअप बेहतर रूप से कर सकते हैं। आईपी लीड कमर्शियलाइजेशन, industry, academia, co-patenting, this is happening. Creative technology partnership is going to evolve. It's a high time that we think about the inclusive IP approach. आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाना है तो डीप टेक सेक्टर में आईपी क्रिएट करके जो टेक्नोलॉजी डिपेंडेंसी है उसको कम करना पड़ेगा। आईपी के लिए अवेयरनेस, प्रमोशन, नेशनल आईपी अवेयरनेस मिशन, यहाँ वर्ल्ड इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने निपम नेशनल आईपी अवेयरनेस मिशन के बारे में जब मैंने बताया उनको कि पिछले 3-3.5 साल में हमने 27 लाख छात्रों, युवाओं और एकेडमिशियंस को ट्रेनिंग दी है। एंड नॉट जस्ट आईपी ऑफिसर्स, आई हियर आल्सो recognize the efforts made by the patent agent, trademark agent, IP attorneys. They have also selflessly contributed in spreading the awareness. And as a result of this, पिछले 5 साल में 236% पेटेंट फाइलिंग में ग्रोथ हुआ है, 155% ग्रोथ इन द पेटेंट प्रोटेक्शन। ये बदलता भारत है, ये विकसित भारत की ओर हमारे बढ़ते कदम है। विश्व को आईपी ड्रिवन नॉलेज इकोनॉमी बनाना, वो 2022 में हमारे वित्त मंत्री ने पार्लियामेंट के फ्लोर पर बात कही थी, आज 2026 में। और आप देखिए आईपी का 2022 से 26 का ग्रोथ, हमने आईपी डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन लाइव कर दिया है आईपी ऑफिस में, ताकि किसी भी रिसर्चर को कुछ भी डेटा चाहिए, every day the yesterday night 10 pm's data is visible right from the 00 hours of the next day. इस दिशा में हमें आईपी को ग्रो करना है। अगर आईपी को ग्रो करना है तो सबको एक साथ मिलके प्रयास करने होंगे, और इस प्रयास को आगे ले जाना आज का हमारा दायित्व है। आज हमारे बीच में जो एग्जाम्पलीफाइड रूप से और जिनसे हमें प्रेरणा मिलती है, ये स्टॉलवर्ड्स हैं स्टेज पर। ऑनरेबल जस्टिस ठाकर सर एंड प्रोफेसर जीडी यादव सर, उनसे हमें ये प्रेरणा मिलती है कि हमें विकसित भारत बनाना है तो किस दिशा में जाना होगा, कैसा आईपी क्रिएट करना होगा, और उस आईपी के माध्यम से कैसे हम स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर और देश की आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर ले जा सकते हैं। इस उद्देश्य के साथ ये 2 दिवसीय नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का आयोजन किया गया है। मैं आशा रखता हूं आप डिस्कशन, डेलिब्रेशंस और इन डेप्थ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग के माध्यम से जो भी सरकार के प्रयास है उसका भरपूर लाभ उठाएंगे। जो 90% स्टार्टअप बेनिफिट नहीं ले पा रहे ना, उससे हमें बिल्कुल उल्टा करना है। 90% स्टार्टअप्स आर अवेलिंग द बेनिफिट्स। और आपको क्या बेनिफिट चाहिए, आप लिखिए सरकार को। राइट फ्रॉम द हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटी, प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय से बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय तक, हर एक चीज का समय के अनुरूप अगर सही बात है तो उसका निपटान अवश्य होता है। ये कहने में और करने में मुझे गौरव है कि बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय की कर्मठता और उनका डेडिकेशन, और ये मैं कह रहा हूं इतने विश्वास के साथ क्योंकि पीछे बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय के सभी अधिकारियों का, कर्मचारियों का मुझे इतना सपोर्ट है। और आपको इस बात की परख कर रही हो तो आप इनफॉर्मल बोर्ड पे डॉक्टर पाटिल वहां पर ही है, उनसे भी बात कर लीजिएगा। जब सरकार इतनी दूरंदेशी सोच के साथ काम कर रही है तो आपकी बौद्धिक संपदा को प्रोटेक्ट करना mute that side. I will mute here.
Hello. Sir has rightly elevated the essence of this conference by stating that it is the intellectual property that transforms these growth engines into the economy of any country. और आत्मनिर्भर भारत इसी परिकल्पना को साकार करने का एक प्रयास है. Now, as we are approaching the conclusion of this inauguration event, we would like to invite Dr. Bhavesh Barad, Head School of Law, Coordinator, Center of Excellence, to propose the formal vote of thanks to this august gathering.
Respected Kaushal Thaker sir, Yadav sir, Unnat Pandit sir, Dinesh Patil sir, our director and backbone of us, Pratik sir, distinguished speaker, panelist, esteemed guest, director, principal, dean, head of institutions, respected faculty members, researchers, scholars, students, and my dear friends. Have a very good morning to everyone present here. Innovation is a calling card of the future. A true sign of intelligence is not only a knowledge, but imagination. And the law is what gives that imagination the wings of fly safely. It is such a pleasure to see this room so full of energy and purpose. This journey began with a simple idea, and today it is wonderful to see it make huge shape. First and foremost, I want to express my sincere thanks to our guest, chief guest and guest of honors. We know how busy your schedule, and the fact that you have carved out time to share your wisdom with us adds immense value to this gathering. Thank you for being our guiding light today. When we opened the registration, we hope for a good turnout, but the response we received was truly overwhelming. It's a proud moment for us to share that we have more than 190 participants joining us today, offline and online mode. The conference reflects a pan-India presence spanning 7 states which cover approximately 40 entries from institutions outside Gujarat, 140 entries from institutions across Gujarat. We have 110 young researchers and students who bring fresh ideas, who have a strong academic backbone of 42 professors and 15 principals in charge in this conference. Most importantly, we have 10 IP experts and legal practitioners here. It's so, we are not just talking about theories. We are connecting those theories to the real world of intellectual property. A huge thank to the Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademarks. Your support is what gives us the platform and promote innovation. Thank you for your leadership and for always pushing the boundaries of academic excellence. To the university authorities, thank you for being the pillars of support we need to make this happen. To the organizing committee and our student volunteers, I have seen that late night and the hard work you have put in. This smooth event is a result of your dedication. And finally, to all our participants, whether you traveled hundreds of miles or just a few blocks from within Ahmedabad, thank you. You are the heartbeat of this conference. I wish you all day of great conversation and inspiring ideas. Thank you once again, all of you. Thank you. And we will also thank our universities, authorities, board of members, management members, EC members. Also, they are present here. I thank you to them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. And at last,
Now, in last, Viksit Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat. When we say make in India, we mean we make with the world and we make for the world. Lastly, as we draw this inaugural ceremony to a close, I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem as a mark of respect to our nation, Bharat.